Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time for some more of Steve Jackson's Sorcery. Yes, I know it's been a little while. As I mentioned previously, life's just been really awkward for me recently. I've been very, very busy. Haven't had many opportunities to record. So, I'm going to dive back in. I finally get a good opportunity tonight. I'm going to try and record 2 or 3 episodes back to back, maybe even finish off the book. And then we'll be ready for book 3. So, fingers crossed I don't do too badly, right? So, last time we lost a game of dice to Flanker the Assassin, who proved to be a remarkably tough opponent. So, we probably couldn't afford to stay at that place, so we've come here instead. We're going to see Jira the Musician, who we helped out at the fair, somewhat inadvertently. You look about for Jira, but eventually it is he who spots you, waving from a particularly dark corner of the inn. "Come and sit with us," he calls. "We've got food to share and company." I'll sit with him, I'll even eat the food and drink, and hope they don't rob me as thanks for helping them out earlier. Well, I hope they're grateful enough to do me the courtesy of not robbing me. Thank you. You follow him to his table and sit down with 3 others that you recognise from the performance at the fair earlier. Their table is spread with delicacies, dried hill fox feet, curried ball-eye beans, and a thin green plant in oil that might be stewed grass. You eat greedily. "So," Jira says pleasantly, "how have you enjoyed your day in Khare? Any luck finding nobles?" "Oh, well, I looked, but I didn't find any." "I'm not surprised," Jira replies. "You'd do better trying to find a shred of decency in Sansa's heart than find the nobles he's been running out of town." The others laugh, but one of the dancers shakes her head, saying softly, "He's not run any out of town. If they were out, he wouldn't be able to control them. He's crippled them all instead." Jira introduces his friend with a gesture. "That is Almira. She's a dancer, but don't let that fool you. She's a thoughtful soul, if ever there was one." Almira nods her head. I might not get the opportunity, so I'm taking it now. How do you mean by crippled? Almira shrugs. "One blind, one dead, one undead, but buried in the necropolis anyway. So I hear." She smiles, then drops her eyes to her beer. Jira crunches on a battered skunk bear toe. "So," he says, "are you staying here tonight?" "Oh, yeah, probably. I don't have many other options." He nods. "You're a brave man. I don't know many as would risk the beds in the heated Reaver, or whatever this place is called. It's called the Meat and Cleaver, but he is drunk. The owner makes good rat bone fritters, but he's a few giblets short of a casserole." "Oh, is this the place with the thing? With all the things?" It's like, and you do it backwards to make it make sense. If any of you have played the original book, you probably have a very good idea exactly what I'm referring to, and if you haven't, you're probably completely clueless. "Well, where should I stay?" "The oven isn't bad, though I hear Vic tends to scoop up the drunks." He nods meaningfully. Is Vic a friend of yours?" "Vic's a friend of my friend." "Yeah, but I don't think he'd do it personally." "Well, who's he?" "Vic?" Jira pulls a grim face. "I wouldn't say Vic was a good man to know, or rather there's many who know him and wish they didn't. Vic's a bad man. Head of the slave ring and looking to be head of a lot more, or so I hear. That's the second clue we've had that Vic is trying to make a power grab, with many of the nobles out of the way." Almira agrees. "They say he intends to overrun the council. That's impossible, but if he's planning it, I suspect he has a trick up his sleeve." "What kind of trick?" She shakes her head. I've no idea, but Vic is a very clever man indeed, and not afraid to work in league with sorcerers and the darker arts. Jira tries to lighten the tone, raising a toast with his mug. Hey, you mentioned a blind noble. You say, where can I find him? Almira shrugs. How would I know? There's a lot of beggars in Khare. Jira sighs. Oh, it's late. We should be going. Almira nods and takes his hand. Arm in arm, they bid you farewell and leave the inn. Well, look, I gotta kind of stay here, man. I don't have many other options, unfortunately, so over to the bar I go. You march over to the bar. The innkeeper stands as straight as he can to greet you. Well, I'll greet the innkeeper. Greetings, my good man. The innkeeper nods to you. Welcome to the Meat and Cleaver, he says. What can I get for you? I'd like a room. Do you have any rooms? The innkeeper nods and smiles a wide, almost wicked smile. Just imagine the League of Gentlemen theme tune playing here at a moment. Remember the butcher? Remember the mystery meat? Yeah, if you've watched it, you probably do. We do. Best in Khare, if I say so myself. People who stay here never stay anywhere as good again. 4 gold pieces. Yeah, that's because they never stay anywhere again. Well, alright, I'll pay for a room. That is costly. And I'm really low on rations. You hand over 4 gold pieces, and the innkeeper nods to a staircase in the corner of the room. It's up there, he says. Go up whenever you like. I'll ask about food. How much is food? He shakes his head. We're out of food, I'm afraid. He points to a group in one corner. Those lot ate everything. Musicians, he says. They're always hungry, but good for drinking. Well then, I'll walk away from the bar. You head back from the bar to the middle of the room. I will go up the stairs to Bedfordshire. I'm going to regret this. You go up the stairs to take the room above the inn. Is it really this room? Is it really this inn? The room is dark, and you are given no candles, so you grope around for the bed and sit down. It is a pleasure to take the weight off your tired feet. It is, isn't it? It is. I really feel it. Your eyes fall closed within moments, and you are soon fast asleep. You have the strangest dream that you have been captured by a torturer with a sadistic imagination who is plotting all sorts of horrific fates to you. You wake up in a fright. You wake up with a fright and a cold sweat, and it's just about sunrise, and the early morning light coming through the window lights up your room and gleams off this blade suspended just above your neck. I'm not going to try and move, because that's just only a bad thing. A guillotine! Come on, give me the picture. Yes! It's here? This guillotine is razor sharp. That is much as clear. It is suspended on a complex system of pulleys and ropes, with the end of the rope attached to your left wrist. From one corner of the room comes a loud, weird laugh. It is the innkeeper, squatting and watching. I need meat for my stew, he crows. Untie me now! You shout. Well, I could do that, he says. But you see the rope around your wrist there, that's holding the system in place. So if I untie it, or if you raise your wrist yourself, the blade will either fall or it'll raise up. He gets to his feet. I tell you what, I'll let you take your time. With that, he leaves the room, closing the door behind him. So, this is what we do. Each of these is going to be, well, either smooth or cocked. So, We want this to go up. So we want it to go up, around, so it's going down here, up here, and down there, which is turning this that way, which will then turn this that way. So we go that way, this way, that way, this way, that way, this way. So we're turning this one this way, which is pulling this and pushing this. So it's turning this way. So up, along, 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 up here. So this is turning this way, turning this one this way. So this is going down. This is going down. This is coming. So that's going that way, this way, that way, this way, that way, this way, that way, this way, that way. So this is turning this way and pulling this down. This is then going that way. So it's pushing that this way because it's another figure eight. So it's going that way, this way, that way, this way. So which is going to make this go this way. So that will then push and pull. So that's going this way. So when we go down to here, and it's going this way, which means it needs a pull down. I'll double check that. So down, we'll go up. We'll go this, ja, 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 yep, 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 yup, yup. Yep, 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 yep. That way, down, down, up. So that's going that way, which is pulling this up, 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 which means we're going that way. So that's a push. So that's going this way, that way, this way, that way, this way, that way. Brup, brup. That's going up. Ja, ja, ja. Oh, shh, that's bad. Just when I thought I had it. Okay, I want you to go up. We're just going to go that way. That way. So hang on, that's coming this way. So you're going that way, da, 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 yep. Whoop, 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 down. So, b, 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 b. Brup. So that's going down and up. So that's going brup, but, rup. Rup. So yes, it is a pull. You pull the rope. The movement makes the blade quiver. The blade drop. What? No, that's not right at all. Is it because this is a fake one that the string isn't attached to at all? That's the only way that could make sense. Also because it's pulling it to make it go up and lifting to make it come down, because you'd think lift it to release the tension. Did they literally change it to cheat? I think they changed it to cheat. Wow. I mean, auto kill. Man, I did the maths and everything. It's not fair. Right, let's look at this again. We want you going up. We don't want you coming down. So you've got to be going that way, that way, this way, that way. So you're going that way, so you're going that way. Burr, 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 burr. So you're going that way, you're going that way. So that's coming this way, all the way up to here and going down. So this is going like that. So this skull's coming up, this section is going down. Wait, this is going down, that's pulling that up. So it's going this way, that way, this way, that way, this way, that way, this way, that way. And then we come to here, and that's going this way. If it's real. If it's not, we skip one. So that's going this way. It's feeding that. So it's going this way, which is making that one go that way, making this one go that way. So I pull down. Okay, they literally cheated it and ignored the picture. Or this one doesn't count. That does not make sense. Because now, I mean, it is one of the few instances in a Fighting Fantasy game book where there's a very important clue in the illustration. Release. You bend your fingers up to the knot and pull it loose. There's an agonizing moment as the weight of the thread slips through your fingers. And then the blade rises up. You breathe a sigh of relief. Now to free yourself. I'm not going to lower the blade. Loosen your wrist straps. I'm not going to shout for help. Don't want to let him know. That's the last thing I should do in this situation, is let him know, otherwise he'll come back in and kill me. Right. Loosen the wrist straps on the other arm, right? Using your left hand, you loosen the straps around your right wrist, but you cannot free them completely. But at least you can now move your right wrist as high as your neck. So, loosen leg straps. Why do I think lowering the blade might help here? I'm pretty sure it won't. Oh. Am I going to use the blade to cut the straps on my wrist? You've loosened your right wrist, but it isn't free, so you're still unable to reach the leg straps. I kind of got two legs. So lower the blade ever so gently. You move the strap around your right wrist up to your neck and lower the blade carefully, using its edge to cut through the leather. Then you lift the blade once more. Both your arms are now free. So I want to sit up so the blade is now behind me, right, as I work on my legs. I'm not going to lower the blade again. With your arms free, you sit up and quickly unstrap your legs. Then you are on your feet and grabbing my gear and getting the bleep out of here. And if he's got any sense, he'll be well. Then you hurry downstairs. The innkeeper gasps in alarm at your appearance and cowers behind the bar. I want a refund. My room was not up to standards. You go to the bar and grab him bodily. He is light enough to throw over your shoulder. He squeals and kicks with fear. It wasn't me, he shouts. It was the other six of me that did it. I don't believe you. Yes! Tie him to the bed. Look, he designed the thing, so he should know how to operate it. Laughing cruelly, you carry him to the room and strap him down to the bed. You take a moment to rewire the string around the pulleys. The horrified innkeeper twists and turns his head to try and follow the thread, but cannot get a good view from where he lies. Yeah, we're not trying to make it make sense, we're just trying to make it be different to what he's used to. Now we're going to offer some advice. Even I don't know if you should pull or release, you tell him. I think you should release. Good luck. Then you walk out of the door, leaving the man to face his own trap. And I don't get my money back? He's probably spent it already on something. Ugh. The inn door slams shut behind you and the sun comes out overhead. Let's head outside and breathe a sigh of relief. And who rewired that trap or ignored one cog, which may be a fake cog, to distract? As the sun breaks over the roofs of Lower Khare, the city looks clean and bright, like a stone polished to a shine by a fast-flowing river. The effect lasts for a beautiful moment, and then the people of Khare begin to stir, opening their windows to throw out their slop, shouting and cursing at each other as they do so. Well, I'm going to try for that bridge. Because once the barges have gone up and down the river, the bridge should be lowered and we should be able to walk. Oh, breakfast, food would be great. But money. 5 gold, that's not enough. The market traders begin to set up their stalls, fighting and threatening each other to get the spots closest to the ships. A few sly types, probably pickpockets, begin to prowl the shadows between the stands. You have explored Lower Khare thoroughly and cannot afford to waste more time in these slums. If the nobles are to be found, they will be on the other side of the river, and if they are not to be found, you must reach the gate and try to find another way through. I will not buy breakfast. I can drink the refreshing water from the fountain on the other side, right? I'll wait for the bridge to be lowered. And hopefully don't get robbed. You ignore the various food stalls and watch the river as you wait. After a while, a grizzled old man arrives and unlocks a small booth by the harbour bridge. He goes inside and closes the door behind him. I will wait. Oh, he's gone to sleep, hasn't he? You sit down outside the booth to wait for the man to lower the harbour bridge. Half an hour goes by and nothing happens. I'll wait a little longer. You wait another half an hour, enjoying the morning sunlight playing on the river. It feels like the first rest you have had since you left the outpost settlement. It's hard to imagine that, had it not been for the Archmage and the Birdmen, you would never have made this journey, never explored the world outside the Shamutanti wall. Look, he could be robbing the place or asleep. I'll wait a little longer. You wait a little longer. Suddenly there is a flurry of movement from inside the booth. The old man leaves his booth and goes over to a contraption on the waterfront. He begins to heave and wind an ancient winch. It seems to be quite hard work. He's trying to move the whole weight of the bridge single-handedly. You know what? I will help him out. Maybe he'll be grateful and let me cross for free. You get to your feet and go over to help the man out. "Get off," he growls. "You'll break it." Right, no, I'll leave him to it. He knows better. You let the man struggle, happy to let him be stubborn. Sweat beads on his forehead and he heaves and puffs as he works, but eventually the bridge clunks down into place. You salute the man cheerfully and get to your feet. And then cross the bridge. You cross the bridge over the river Jabaji, which runs like a slime trail through the centre of the city. Halfway across, you hear a blood-curdling scream coming from somewhere on the bank you just left, but you let it go. I hope he ain't being done in. You've reached the banks of Upper Khare. The buildings here are not as grand as on the south side of the river, but they are in a much better condition. Fewer people live on this side. South side. Excuse me. Do we have a compass anywhere on this map? We have a compass rose with a traditional Greek labyrinth. This is obviously then the bottom, so that is north. We have no compass on this map. Ah, yes, south side of the river. Okay, that makes sense now, yes. I was wondering for a moment. Right. Where are we? We are here. The buildings here are not as grand as on the south side of the river, but they are in much better condition. Fewer people live on this side, away from the fields and the hills, and those that do are richer. They are also most likely more dangerous. But of course, it is on this side of the city that the North Gate stands. Indeed. You follow the road away from the river towards a fork in the road. If there are any nobles still in the city port, their houses are most likely to be on this side of the river, but which way? This way. This way. This is the way that I am going. Do I not get to drink from the well? Okay. The early morning sun is beginning to wake the streets of Khare. A few creatures roam this way and that. In one corner, a spring bubbles with fresh water. I will absolutely drink the fresh water, because it's not skanky, manky pond scum water that had a fish blowing bubbles at me in it. Oh, 5 whole points! You cup your hand to the water and drink a mouthful. It is fresh and invigorating, as though the water was enchanted. I'm not going to ask for directions, I'll look around. Looking left, the road heads through into a residential area that seems well cared for. A short way off to the right is an open plaza. There's nothing for it. You'll have to explore for yourself. I'm going to blatantly go this way in the hope that I can run into some places where I can get the thing I need. The sun gem. So apparently there are 2 sun gems I can get on this side of the river. One may very well be in this marketplace here, but also very expensive. There might be one down in the Fallen Quarter. I doubt it. So I'm thinking, if I'm lucky, it'll be somewhere in this residential district here. Also, I'm pretending I haven't played this section before, and okay. You follow a narrow winding street, past shops and stalls. It is still early and they are not yet open, but there are stirrings from within the houses as the day's activities begin. A face appears at one window and seems to watch you pass, although the creature's eyes are closed and you are not sure that it actually notices you. Red eyes! Red eyes! And I'm not talking about bad photographs. I'm not going to wave at the creature, I'm not going to call out, I'm not going to attract attention to myself, I'll just pass on by. Yes, the red eyes. Look at them with all their big closed eyelids. You walk on by. Another similar creature stands in a doorway across the street, washing themselves from a bucket. This one is thin and spindly with a long face, not exactly a human and not an elven either, but something in between. Red eyes, we avoid the gaze. I believe we even have a clue about red eyes. No. Portal traps are circular. Okay. Glandra, yeah. I'm pretty sure someone met. Right, a second noble Mulus. No. God, Kurga may be able to help. Blind beggar. No, because I got a partial clue because I got half a line from. See the 4 lines in the sewer. Maybe going through the sewer is actually really helpful because it helps us find the order. I don't know for certain. Oh, and keys, right? I bid you portals open wide is Mulas's line. And Mulas second noble is that the one we got from the... I think that's the one we got from the Priest of Slang, right? Then we can get Lord Lorag's one, Blind Beggar if we're lucky. The dead one in his tomb is going to be really hard. Okay. I will ignore her. You pass it by and it seems not to notice you. At the end of the road, under a low arch, a group of youths are loitering, talking and kicking stones into the gutter. They notice you and begin to point and talk among themselves. They're talking, they're pointing. I'm going to presume they've got eyes so they can see me. I'll look them over and hope they don't look. You pause to look at them. They too have their eyes closed, although somehow they have seen you. Or perhaps they have only heard you. Yes, the red eyes have very keen senses apart from their eyes. I'll take a side street to avoid them. You see an opening to one side and nip down it. The youths immediately give chase. They are quick runners and you will have to move fast to avoid them, but these alleyways are tight and you cannot see what is around each corner as you approach. I'll run to the first junction, then slow. You race forward, reaching what used to be a crossroads, but the way ahead is blocked by a collapsed building. The youths are right behind you. Turn left. Left is best. Even though it may be taking me back towards the river. You swing quickly left and race past another building to the next crossroads. Straight ahead, you see what looks like a metal hoop lying on the ground. The youths are hot on their trail. Hot on your trail. I went left. I'll go straight. This could end up with me being in a very bad place that I don't want to be and having a hard time getting to Lord Lorag's house. So, if I go left, then right. If I go double left, bit too predictable. Left, then right, bit too predictable. I'll go straight on. You turn right. I clicked straight ahead. You turn right, not slowing down. Another block on, you reach a turning to the right. The alleyway continues on ahead. You hear a shout. The youths have fallen a little way behind, but they have not lost your trail. I'll turn right, not running now, walking to be quiet. Oh, come on! You turn and then your heart sinks. The end of this alley is blocked by rubble and some collapsed building you saw when you the same collapsed building you saw when you entered the first alley. I did not turn right. You take that back now. Yeah, I did not. A fork in the road. Yeah, see, I did not. Drank. Look. Move on. I did not go left and right. Right. Keep avoid. Avoid. Look at them. The fact that I stopped... no, I think they know I'm not a red eye already. Side street. Run to the first junction. Took a left. I clicked straight ahead. Oh! Well, I got away from them. You keep going into the alley with the metal hoop. It fills the alley, and as you step over its edge, you are suddenly falling. Teleport trap! Teleport trap. Oh, not even a different place. You are floating down through the air, turning over and over. You are in pitch blackness. You cannot see a thing, then a spot of light appears. It grows wider and wider until finally you emerge to a fate that is nearly worse than death. You've landed in this disgusting pile of unbelievable filth. Slime, excrement, sludge, dung, and dregs all the way up to your neck. You are evidently in the sewers of Khare. If I wait, I think I get dumped on, but I think it's slightly worth it. You wait a moment as a nearby chute ejects a torrent of filth and pig swill. Then you get yourself to your feet and wipe off the sludge as best you can. Is this the... This is not the same place. Okay. This is adjacent to the well situation on the other side. So, rat bear around here somewhere. is this? I think this is where I want to go, right? I think this is... I need to find the slime eater. There's a ladder right here. You stand in a cavernous sewer tunnel, filled knee-deep with a slow-flowing stench-filled water. It is pitch black. You could be standing on a mountaintop or inside a coffin, except that is for a single speck of light somewhere in the distance. I wait. You wait, and within a few minutes the tunnel is filled with goblins. There are not one or two, but a whole army led by a tall, stocky elder goblin and chanting a weird guttural song. They pause a short distance away from you, and the leader steps forward. "You should not be here," the goblin declares. "This is the domain of the Mad King, and of us." "Take me to your king." That may end poorly. Especially if he's mad. Do you want to cast a spell? I could summon my own goblin, right? I'm liking this plan, right? Mud, quicksand. Not going to be too helpful for me. That's a D. I clicked for P. Yeah, P. Just pop. Army of goblins. One explosion. Probably not enough. Gak is something I don't have. Oh, God. God is... I don't have a golden jewel. Hot. I mean, again, fireball kills some goblins. Army of goblins, unspecified amount. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the fake treasure, which was P. Nope, it wasn't P, was it? It was Dud. Yeah. Get those goblins fighting each other. You cast the spell, filling the sewer with illusory gold and riches. The goblins cackle with glee. "You're wealthy," the leader of the goblins states. "We will be glad to rob you from your body when you are fallen." Okay, that didn't work out quite so well. You know what? He doesn't seem that good, so... Oh, 5 stamina. So about a... 6.2. Yeah. Oh, bugger, he defended. The goblin charges towards you. You ready your sword grip and rush in for a strong attack. It moves back, shaking with adrenaline. The creature bares its teeth and stamps its feet in the muck. You know what? Stick at a cut and ow! Okay. Then the goblin is on you like a storm, launching a massive sweep. You attempt to shatter its skull, but leave yourself unprotected. You tumble backwards a few steps. The monster hoists its short sword, but looks a little tired. I think he's going for a defend. So I'm just going to go for a light. Oh, okay. You dodge backwards, but can't escape in time. Cackling, it lands a blow, rushing forward with an evil sneer. You tumble back a pace. Right. He's low on energy, so he can't... Yeah, go for that. Ah, too low. You catch the creature, a startling wound on the leg. The goblin's weapon catches some of the impact. I've got to go all in, hope he doesn't defend again. He did not defend again. Yeah, take it like that. Chasing the goblin, you dart forward and push the tip of your blade towards its neck. You have defeated the goblin. Maybe his mates are gonna chicken out now. The goblin leader laughs. He gestures another of his minions to face you. I'm gonna have to cast a spell. I need to get out of this situation. I'm gonna have to pop a rock, aren't I? Or just quicksand. You toss the sand on the floor but the spell and cast a spell, but you cannot act quickly enough. The water washes the sand away. Oh, for goodness sake. Okay, another goblin. Good defense. He's low on power. The goblin rushes towards you through the filth. You steady your footing and pull back your sword to cover your head. The goblin gibbers and goes at you with its little blade. You ready your focus. The creature eyeballs your movements cautiously. So I'm thinking about a 2. I'm thinking he is defending. I was correct. A moment later, you are seizing the advantage. You catch the creature a quick blow on the skull. The goblin's weapon catches some of the blow. It eyeballs you intently. Okay. All in? Not quite. Go for a 5. Yeah. Oh, what a waste. Read that one completely wrong. Following the creature, you leap forwards and drive the side of your blade at its chest. The goblin turns and races back across the tunnel. Look, you defend, mate. I'm going to defend. On instinct, you duck back into a crouch. The goblin roars. You deflect it aside and it staggers. You steal your focus. The creature follows you nervously. Mate, that was a 3.3. It's low. It's low. It's really low. Thing is, I think it's going to defend again. I go for about a little over 3. 3.6. It shouldn't be able to beat that. And it didn't. It defended. Holding your weight back, you slash sideways. By sheer luck, the goblin's blade catches some of the attack. He's still got no energy. Ha! The other creatures are growling and stamping their feet as you catch the goblin a startling cut on the skull. It leaps to protect itself, but too slowly. The goblin is weakening. The creature follows you fearfully. Roar! Bastard defended. You sustain the pressure on the goblin. You bring your sword up and slash at its neck. It dodges aside and races back across the sewer. It growls and stamps its feet in the muck right you. Oh, bugger. Then the goblin is on you like a storm, launching a massive sweep for your side. You sidestep to shatter its chest, but fumble. The monster stares at you fearfully. Look, mate, yeah, I'm going to have to try and kill you now. This ain't good. You catch the goblin a starting blow on the skull. Its sword takes the rest of the impact. Yeah, look, I'm going for it. Oh, bugger. You dodge backwards, but you fall. The goblin grabs for a moment, swinging a strong lunge for your neck. Yeah, but you don't really swing a lunge. You're driven back a few steps. It hoists its short sword into the air and stuff it. If I'm going to die, it's going to be glorious. A moment later, you're on the goblin. You catch the goblin a startling slice on the side. You have defeated the goblin, but we are well shagged. Look, I'd rather just... I'm going to have to cast another spell. This is the death of 1,000 goblins otherwise. Right, look, I'm just going to pop a rock. If I can cause a collapse or something... You cast a spell over a pebble and fling at the nearest goblin. It evaporates in a cloud of smoke. The first signs of genuine fear are showing on the goblin leader's face. He instructs one more of the soldiers to draw a sword. Right, I'll chuck another rock at that one then. What other options do I have? Hot in a sewer. I mean, it's like really gassy, right? This is a disaster waiting to happen. You cast a spell, creating a fireball that you hurl at the approaching creature. It explodes in a ball of acrid flame, and we are just dead. We're not continuing on this run now. This is a disaster. Enough! The goblin leader cries. You waste my time and my soldiers. Go in peace. And with that, he waves his army on. They march off into the tunnel. I'm not going to mock them. I'm going to let them go and stagger away. There are so many goblins that it takes several minutes for them all to pass by. Clearly, they could have had your neck if they had so chosen. You have been lucky. At the rear are 2 goblin generals. How many more soldiers does the Mad King want? The first asks a second as they pass your position. Thousands, the second replies and spits. But he'll get what he wants. That he will, the first agrees, testing his blade on his thumb. The two walk on, still talking in muttered voices. Well then, the goblins are trampling away up the sewer and we've found a clue. This cannot be good. We still haven't been able to cast Dock anywhere at all. The Goblin Army. In tunnels under Khare, an army of goblins are massing for attack, and this is a new Inkle edition, I believe. What's this on the corner here? That's interesting. Hang on. Is it just supposed to look like folded up? Okay, it's the same on all of them. Oh, this is not good. This is not... Where am I? Hello? Map? Oh, down here. All the way down here. I like the way that when I zoom in, it pops out as if it was underneath, but it's actually on top, and this isn't resizing as much as this is. Well, head the other way, follow the goblins. Oh. Yeah, but ladder. This is a well with a bucket. Is one of these for wishing well? The thing is, I'm making the mistake of believing that this position here is relevant to where I went down, when that is not the case. You trail along behind the goblins like a shadow. The Bakland tribes are ready, the first goblin general hisses. The second goblin makes a chittering noise, something close to a laugh. Ready to run through this city like a river of molten steel at the word from the king? A few words, the first goblin replies, but I've learnt a few myself. Here, one hisses, stopping suddenly and cocking an ear. What was that? Probably me. Freeze. Stay still. Don't want them thinking it was me. You freeze. The goblins keep walking away out of earshot, not stopping. They do not look back, but continue talking in low voices, which means I've missed the opportunity for those words, but I have not been discovered. So I'll catch up. I've missed my chance. You hurry to catch up with the goblins. The tunnel turns a corner. Something glints on the side of the sewer. I will look at it. You stop to look at it, losing sight of the goblins once more. It's a vial of potion. I will sniff it. You uncork it and take a sniff. Blimbery, I'll absolutely chug it. You unstop of a blimbery potion and gulp down a mouthful. You feel a little better, and all traces of hunger are also gone. The goblins disappear around a corner of the sewer. Yeah, I am missing opportunities to find clues from the goblins here. Oh. You know what I should have done? I want to check. Keep up. Yeah. I bet these are opportunities for me to learn lines of the spell that will open the gate, because someone's going to open the gate to let the other goblins in, right? So the Mad King. Yeah. I heard nothing, the other replies. You hurry to keep pace, just behind him in the dark. Oh, so I don't get to learn. You know one of the lines? One goblin is quizzing the other. The goblin spits an agreement. I overheard the Mad King whisper it to himself. His voice drops for a moment and you only hear the second half of what he says. And Forger's pride. Yeah, Korga's grace and Forger's pride. I think that's the one I got a partial on earlier. The tunnel winds around the corner. So if I ignore it and keep on... Let's check. Further on. Keep up. Can I... If I go up to here... Look at it. Sniff it. Drink it. I still get the clue. Yes, good. Goblins disappear around the corner of the sewer. However, am I getting... Right. I want to check if I have an option to... If I ignore this... If the king knew you even know that much. Tell him and I'll cut your throat, the other goblin hisses back. The first goblin sniggers. Stay quiet and maybe we'll get to cut his. Just then you see more lights up ahead. It seems the sewer is opening out into a wider space. Okay. The opening. So, there's nothing much there. So I can go back. Absolutely. Drink the potion. Look it, sniff it, drink it. Ah, so we've kept up pace. I could turn back. I think I want to follow. I don't think I have a spell to make myself invisible. Peering through, you see a huge chamber like an underground cathedral. Water pours in through narrow channels and openings high in the walls, and several wooden ladders disappear upwards. But your eyes are taken by the centre of the room. It is filled with goblins like a ship's hold filled with rats. They swarm around one another, clashing swords and baring teeth. In the middle of them all, on an improvised throne, sits a man, hunched low. He wears a metal circlet on his head. And he's also probably mad. Do I have a good spell that will really help here and not cost me a load of stamina? Yes. I can't do it. Okay. Oh, this is so stupid. So I can go back. I don't know that I can go all the way back to here. If I go through here, I mean, there's arguably a way up here, right? That I don't know about and can't see. So oh, this is really stupid. You slip into the hall. Oh, it feels like a lone wolf adventure. It is warm with the fetid breath of 1,000 creatures who drink and laugh and clash swords down in the muck. On his throne, their king seems to be sleeping, or else they have killed him by accident. He is a man, not a goblin. How does he control this rabble? The crown on his head. It's not the crown of kings, but if they think it has power... I'll look at the man. If I look for too long, I might get spotted. And I think the man is Vic, but I can't remember. The man is thin as if he has not eaten in months, and pale as if he has been in the dark just as long. His hair is long and grey, and he slumps over the side of the throne as though desperately ill. His clothes are long, soiled robes that perhaps were once quite fine. On his head he wears a grey circlet of dull silver metal you cannot quite place. The king coughs suddenly. The effect is bizarre. At the noise, every goblin in the great chamber freezes and looks up. I think it lets him control the goblins. I'll wait and listen. You wait transfixed by the strange scene. What can I learn here? The king pushes on the arm of his chair, attempting to stand, then shivers and falls down. Silence, he whispers. The chamber is suddenly quiet, which means if I make a move, I will attract attention to myself. I wait and I listen. You keep waiting, wanting to see what comes next. The king fingers the circlet on his head as if scared it will slip. My creatures, he whispers, the time is almost upon us. As the night draws in, we will rise up and open the gates. We will rub this filthy city clean. He has broken off into a fit of coughing. I wait. I don't think he's going to say the lines of the poem. But I wait. When he finishes his speech, I'm probably done for, so I probably can't wait that long. You stay hidden and wait. The long journey is nearly over, declares the king, raving with madness. The process I began when I blinded Lord Fetor and left him a beggar. Finally, the council will be destroyed and the city will be cleansed. Oh! Is Lord Sansus and Vic the same person? Is this Lord Sansus? It could be. I gotta move. Creep to a ladder. I don't think I can afford to wait for them to leave. Sticking to the shadows, you begin to creep around the perimeter of the hall, aiming for one of the long ladders that disappears up into darkness. You get about halfway before the goblins nearby turn, pushing at each other, and you are forced to freeze. A goblin close by your elbow murmurs, "How much longer do we have to listen to this?" His companion silences him with a talon to the arm. So the goblins aren't in thrall to this man. They are not under his control. They're waiting for him to open the gate and let all the other goblins in. I wait and listen one more time, I think, and hope, and then I move, right? You stay hidden and wait. The king gets to his feet and raises a wizened arm into the air. "I will open the gates for you tonight," he cries, "and we will make this city pure." The goblin in front of you grinds his teeth. "One more day of this nonsense," he grumbles, "then we'll see." The king raises a cheer, and then the goblins, as one, cheer back, throwing their swords up in the air. 1,000 blades flash, and the confusion when they land is extreme. Every goblin cowering for cover, and then squabbling to retrieve his blade. Now is the time. Keep going for that ladder. You creep further around the edge of the hall. The king calls for silence, but the goblins do not hear him. They are still in a mess with their swords. I keep moving and hope I don't get spotted. Reach the ladder base. And now I've got to be really careful, because I won't have a crowd to hide amongst. You cross the remaining strides to the base of the ladder. Once you start to climb, you will be extremely visible, so you must choose your moment wisely. The king calls again for silence, clutching his circlet in one hand. This time, the goblins fall silent. You realise with a heavy heart that you had missed the best opportunity you will get to escape to climb to the chamber by the ladder. Really interesting. I think I wait once for them to be paying attention again. You stay hidden and wait. The goblins carouse and celebrate. The room is becoming unbearably hot and fetid. Time to go. Very well. I mean, if they get drunk, that'd be great. Now I need to climb. Why can't I climb? What? Come on. Oh, because I should have gone earlier, quicker, right. You turn away from the ladder base and slip towards the sewer exit. The goblin celebrations are turning into a fight. You'll be caught in the middle of it if you can't get out of the way. Well then, I'd better move. Seriously, I don't get... I'm going to have to go the other way. But maybe that's okay. You make your way back around the hall. Around you, a group of goblins are attacking each other with picks and swords. One is thrown backwards, landing on top of you. Another brings down a blade. The goblin rolls to one side and the blade hits you inside. Oh, we is deaded, innit? Yep, you're killed in a goblin skirmish. Well, that's unfortunate. But I think as soon as I started getting chased by the red eyes, I was done for. That's most unfortunate. Can I do better next time? Yes, I can. A third attempt, that's going to really stretch out this book, but our hero has met an unfortunate end. Oh, what a shame. Well, that brings an end to this episode, I believe. That was a real shame. I came close there, I really did. And I think getting that half a line down here helped actually. Did it? Yeah, half a spell line. Yeah. See? So I think staying down here and trying to sneak around quicker and not listening to him quite so much might work in my favour. I'll try that in the next episode. I hope you've all enjoyed this one, and if you did, let me know what you think of this section down in the sewers as a possible recovery system to learn missing spell lines. I'm going to say goodbye for now though, and hope to see you all in the next one. Cheerio everybody.